Let's talk about the Rams and the Bills. It was a great game. Um, it's usually hard for West Coast teams to go to the East Coast and play that 10 a.m. or the 1 p.m. on the East Coast or the 10 a.m. here in the West Coast. But the Rams are actually one of the better teams to travel across the country and do that. And I think maybe you could their slow start that they had, you could point it to like the time difference and waking up really early, your clock not being right. So the Bills took a commanding lead, and then I think they blew it. They blew that lead. I think it was 28-3 lead that the Bills had, or 28-6, one of those two. And then the Rams just march back. They take a lead. They lead like 32-30, 32-30, or 32-28 with like 2 minutes, 3 minutes left, and then the Bills drive down the field, and then they get the go ahead touchdown to win 35-32. Great game. A little bit of controversy at the end. They called the pass interference against the Rams that kept like the drive, um, get the drive going for the Bills to get the game winning touchdown. Tacky, um, iffy call. You could go both ways. I don't really have a problem with the call, but I could see if you were a Rams fan, you're like, man, is that really pass interference? He did kind of hold him, but they were both kind of holding each other. I do believe like the Rams player initiated the contact. Some takeaways I got from that game, like everyone, everyone, everyone. I seen like videos on YouTube or like just around the web. Everybody's giving Josh Allen like a lot of credit for having like a great season, like before week 3. And I mean, I agree. I have him on 2 of my fantasy leagues, so having him has been like a pleasure. He gets points and he's getting it done. But he did play like two kind of mediocre teams in the first 2 weeks, so I was kind of like I was ready to hop on the bandwagon, but like not quite because I wanted to see him do it against like a better team. And the Rams, I thought the Rams were gonna be a bad team this year, but they're surprising me, and I do consider them a good team, like right now and going forward. So for the Bills to beat the Rams, it does show that the Bills, they're legit. They're gonna be like in the playoffs. They're gonna be a strong team, and Josh Allen for the most part had a good game. I think he had like 4 total touchdowns. He looked good. The thing about Josh Allen though is that he makes like rash decisions. Like he never knows how to just take a sack, which is probably like one of his strong points in his games, like the fact that he doesn't give up. But it's also like one of his weaknesses. He threw an interception where he like escaped the pocket and then he just threw it up, and then it got picked off, and that was just like a vintage like Josh Allen like turnover. Like you saw him like escape, extend the play, and then like great, like you evaded a sack, you didn't lose yards, like good for you for like not taking a bad play, and then like once you evade a bad play, like what should you do? Like you should usually once you do that, like that's how a lot of big plays happen. Like you extend the play, you get out of a tough situation, and now since it's been like 6 seconds since you snapped the ball, it's harder for cornerbacks to keep up with their wide receivers. So now you could make big plays. But if it's not there, it's not there. A lot of good quarterbacks that have escapability, like even after they escape a sack or they get around a defender, if it's not there, they'll just like, all right, just throw it away. Like the good play is that I avoided a sack. Like I don't have to force an extra good play on top of evading the sack. And I feel like that's where Josh Allen is like he still needs to get it through his head that escaping a sack is good enough. And like if you have more downs, then you could just throw it away and not force the ball. So because that interception that he had is just it's just like damn, like you did not have to do that, and it kind of like sparked the Rams comeback. And maybe against the Rams are a good team, but like against like elite teams, like if the Bills have like they have a solid roster and they look good. If the Bills have aspirations to keep going further into the playoffs and potentially get to Super Bowls and do stuff like that, like those plays might deter you from the goals that you have. But at the same time, you can't tell Josh Allen to just completely shut it down because that is what makes him great. You just hope that his good plays outweigh his bad plays, last season, especially in the playoffs, they didn't, or it looked iffy. Like, ugh. But now it does look like he's progressing towards being that quarterback that his good plays outdo his bad plays, and hopefully that's enough for the Bills. I do want to give the Bills credit for trading for Diggs. I feel like Diggs has changed Josh Allen too in the sense that it gives him more confidence. He has like a legit number one receiver. The Vikings were really, really lucky to have Diggs and Thielen at the same time. Diggs might be the best route runner in the NFL. Him and Keenan Allen are probably the best too, and Devontae Adams. They're like really good route runners. Just got to give the Bills credit for not settling and not just keeping the receivers that they had. They knew that Josh Allen has a lot of potential to be like a really good quarterback, and they didn't just sit there and like, oh, hopefully he develops with what we have. They got rid of it first. They brought Diggs in. Now it just bolsters like not just your number one receiver, but now your number two receiver. What used to be your one, he's your two now. So like just across your whole depth chart, it just makes your wide receiver corp look way better. And then it just keeps the defense honest. Diggs could go deep. He could like pick you apart in the bottom. He was matched up against Jalen Ramsey for a part of the game, so he didn't have the best stats, but just the threat of Diggs kind of opens up everything. And I feel like that's what teams with young quarterbacks should do. You should always try to get your quarterback a weapon. I'm looking at you, Jets. Get Darnold the weapon. Like, it's pathetic, the wide receivers that Darnold has with the Jets. I feel bad for the guy. He has like nobody. He has nobody to throw to. Jamison Crowder is like his star wide receiver, and he could be like a number 3 on any other roster, or on most rosters he'll be like a number 3, and he's their number 1. And now he's hurt, so they have nothing. So just gotta get that out of my chest. The Jets, what are you guys doing? Like, give him some help. Like the Cardinals, the Bills, they get it. They have young quarterbacks. They traded for Diggs. They traded for Hopkins. Jets, give Darnold some help. That's a little off topic, but I just want to give the Bills credit, and I just want to get that off my chest for the Jets. Like, what are you doing? Like, give Darnold some help. The Bills look legit. The Patriots also look legit. So it's gonna be competitive till the end of the season. I did have the Patriots keeping their division crown. I do think they're gonna win. But after 3 weeks, the Bills are looking nice. The Bills are 3-0. They're number 1 in the division. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually hold on and win the division now that we're 3 weeks in. But I'm gonna stay with my pick. I'm gonna say that the Patriots win the division. But I do have the Bills having like the highest seeding of the 3 wild card spots. But Bills are nice. They definitely have something with Josh Allen. They found their franchise QB after so many years. Like, they've had like J.P. Losman, Fitzpatrick. Man, they've had so many quarterbacks go through there, and it just looks like they finally found their QB. The other team in that game was the Rams. They look good. Not gonna lie, it looks like Sean McVay found his groove with Jared Goff and his offense again. Like, they look like a dominant offense again. They look like they found their run game. Henderson is looking like he's a good running back, so they could just run Henderson and do play action. And Goff looked like he's not playing like last year. Last year he played really bad. That's why I thought they were gonna be bad this year. I didn't have faith in Goff, but McVay is a great coach, and he has them playing good. And honestly, now that there's 3 wildcard spots, the NFC West might fill up all 3 wildcard spots. Like, all 4 teams might make the playoffs. Like, I have the Seahawks winning the division, and I had the Niners making the wildcard, and I had the Cardinals in the hunt on my predictions podcast. I think it was episode 6 where I did my prediction for the season. I had the Seahawks winning the division, Niners getting wild card, Cardinals in the hunt, and I had the Rams missing out. But the way it's shaping out, Seahawks should win the division. Rams are gonna be fighting for a wild card spot. Cardinals are gonna be fighting for a wild card spot, and and the Niners, if they could get through these injuries, they should be competing for a wild card spot too. So NFC West is definitely the best division in the NFL, and they might just send all 4 teams to the playoffs, which would be crazy. It's the first year that it's actually possible, since there's 3 wild card spots. But that would be crazy. That would be insane. And NFC West is definitely the best division in the NFL.